Welcome to Jen Care's Live Talks powered by Swag Her Magazine and Chosen Counselors, the show that brings the community to you Mondays at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Here we engage in tough talks and meaningful conversations, featuring guests that help us stay in the know. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like and follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to never miss a show. Now, here's your host, Jen Cares.
Well, good evening and welcome to Jen Cares Live Talks powered by Swag Her Magazine and Chosen Counselors. I am your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. Here at Jen Cares, we specialize in bringing the community to you, and we love tough talks and meaningful conversations. So come on in the room. I want to say special thanks to our guest last week, Patrice Thomas. When I say she was in my business, she was in my business. And it was just a good conversation talking about teardrops and how tears are beneficial. We got to let those things go, right? Got to release those things because we hold it in and it can stop us from going forward. And I know I always say it was such a good time, but it really was a good time because we have a good time here at Jen Cares. And I thank you for coming back to keep on tuning in to what it is that we got going on. Let's take a moment to honor our sponsor, Swag Her Magazine. First thing I want to promote is their Visibility Vault for Black Women business, okay? Ascend founding members are the women who believe first, the ones who saw the vision before it was polished and said yes to elevation early. If you're called to more visibility, more authority, and true alignment, this is your tier because visibility isn't about going viral. It's about being positioned. It's about walking into rooms already respected, being introduced as the expert you are. Ascend is for the women who isn't asking for a seat. Excuse me, she's building tables. Since it's at you, I want you to invest in yourself today for the low of $129.99. They have some payment plans available for you, but this is a circle you want to be a part of, friends. So please do tap in. While you're tapping into that, please also tap into the Swag Her travel books. Let's spotlight your story, showcase your journey and accomplishments with style. It is designed to amplify your visibility. These exclusive features are distributed at premier Black women's empowerment events. So you want to have your name in this book so you can be in the place that you can't get to, but your business can get to, okay? So we want to put you in front of dynamic and a supportive audience. And if you're interested, please head to swagherpr.com for more info. Okay, I love it at Swag Her. They're always doing something amazing over there. And I'm just so honored to be a part. So support Swag Her for me, all right? All right. So we're going to get into tonight's topic. Tonight we're talking about still standing, and this is a guest from a past return, and I'm just so excited to be able to chat with her again and have her as a guest so she can share. She was giving me a tip of what she did today. We're going to talk about that because that's part of what we're talking about today. I'm going to let her tell it forward, but please help me welcome Majia Rhyans. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got a good Zen day going on.
Yes.
Yes. I like that. So over here at Jen Cares, we always start with a quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. Again, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. And I don't want to mess up the sis or surname that did that, but that quote is powerful. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that's perfect, especially perfect for what we're talking about today because it is so fitting.
Yes. Because a lot of times we do fall.
Mm-hmm.
Not even talking about
Most times.
most times we fall. But we got to get back up again. It's funny. I was talking to a coworker today, and she was sharing how if she trips and things, there, she gets nervous and things. And I was telling her, you just gotta pick up your feet, keep on moving, hoping that you don't stop though.
Yeah.
But sometimes that small thing can cripple somebody where they don't want to stand back up. How have you survived when you might have tripped over something and had to stand back up?
I would say how I survived being fully transparent. First off, is I did back then beat myself up first. Like
Mm-hmm.
why? Like everything had to be perfect. How could I
Yeah,
allow this to happen? Like I
yeah.
always felt like I had full control over everything. But I handled it by putting myself in spaces that allow me to feel like it's okay to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
therapy and becoming a part of spaces that honor that and help me to understand that resilience is everything. It's not about how many times you fall, because those falls become experience and they become stairs
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh,
to get us where we need to be. So I take it all as a lesson, an experience, and which helps me be able to be who I am today.
I like that. It becomes stairs, and sometimes we forget that.
Mhm.
Because that's a step that we get up on, and now we know how
Yeah.
to. We hopefully know how to navigate it again. Because if we're honest,
Hopefully.
sometimes it can come back again, right? And
Yes.
we're not prepared, or we thought we were prepared, and we find out, dang on it. This is not quite how I thought it would be.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ah,
That's true.
but we got to keep on going. And I like the honesty of it because, like, there's times that even again, if we pass that test 10 times, the 11th time it didn't quite work out the way it was before. I was talking to a friend the other day, he was sharing how um, you get frustrated when like you're trying to get on a good foot and then temptations come your way. But that's how
Hmm.
life works, unfortunately and fortunately. One to show us what improvement we have done or what more improvement we want to do, right? Because sometimes it can
Yes.
come back around and how we respond to it is totally different and it's okay. Or how we respond to it is like, dang, own it. What happened?
Hmm.
But one day at a time. One day at a
One
time.
day at a that's what I live by. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I live by.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta set it during the day, one moment at a time, because some stuff it be crazy.
Look, 1 hour, because we just gotta take life as it comes. One
Yeah,
second, 1 minute. And that's
yeah,
exactly what I tell my patients. And that's what they practice. Like none of us are perfect. And
right,
like you
right.
said, sometimes the same experiences come back around, and because we are afraid of the outcome, because we've
Mm,
experienced it, we get
yeah,
afraid when it presents itself again, just because we know what happened last time.
just because we, and the thing is,
Hmm.
it doesn't mean that it's going to happen that same way this time, but sometimes we get in
Exactly.
our heads so bad, we overwhelm
Yeah.
ourselves, we get anxious and all those things. It's like, oh, it's going to go downhill, but what if it doesn't? What
Exactly.
if we
It's
do
just the
benefit?
fear of it all.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fear. Mm.
Oh, so hopefully we can try to help some people release that fear. And again, it's an ongoing process for me, ongoing process for you.
Yeah.
The hope is that we put it on a shelf at least, in our mindset to like remember, okay, if it comes up again, let me try. And I tell all the kids in group, they be like, that's not realistic or this doesn't seem right. I'm just trying to give you some tidbits. And the hope is that when you get in that situation, you think she got on my nerves. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to process it no more, but maybe I should think before I act now.
Hmm.
Maybe I should
Hmm.
process this. Maybe I should take a pause. So all those things, all those things.
Hmm.
So as always, chosen friends, I have compiled some questions to help guide tonight's conversation, but we kind of go with the flow over here at Jen Cares. But we're going to jump on into it. Hold on. Though I've compiled some questions, be sure to drop some comments, thoughts, and reactions in the comments to show that you are part of the conversation. We're going to talk either way, but I want you to be a part of the conversation too. So, our first question is always, who are you? How would you describe yourself? Share a little bit of your experience, your journey, what led you to be who you are today.
Okay. Yeah. So my name is Majia. I am now a therapist and social worker. I also have my own podcast. And I really just believe in creating spaces for people to exit survival mode. Just going through what I've been through in life as a new mom, now single mom. Just I want to create spaces for people to understand that survival mode is not a place we have to live, and know that you can grow, you can heal, and you can build more self awareness, emotional control, and all of the things. My work is really rooted from life experience, like I said, faith, and also just the life experiences more than anything, and of course God. But my experience with postpartum and many other things, breakups, all the things have led me to continue to grow in my field, but also learn what other spaces is needed in this world.
Mhm.
What is needed that people don't know exists. So I really just continue to try to open up more spaces for people allow them to know that we all can thrive. We don't have to stay stuck. And I think that's what the problem is in our society, is that people, if we know suicide rates and mental health and many different things, we see that people just feel that what I'm in now is where I'm going to be. And I just want to create a space to allow people to feel like that's not true, and to know that there is support.
I like it. I like it. So many good pieces there. The part of the survival mode, right? So many times we just get, I gotta survive, I gotta survive. But
Hmm.
sometimes taking the beat to evaluate what that situation was. Do I have to
Yeah.
survive this or can I let this go? Or what have I, learned where it's not survival, but I'm navigating a little bit better? Because survival is a little
Yes.
different. It makes me think of, uh the show where like they're trying to harm whoever so they can win and get the money.
Yeah.
We all gonna get the prize at the end. It looks different for everybody. But what you have to do to get there, to navigate there, could be a little
Yep.
different based on your mindset and how you're seeing it.
Absolutely.
Uh, and he said, you don't have to be stuck. Where I am is not where I'm always going to be. So let's talk about how you got into this field of doing social work and therapy. What put it on your heart to say, this is what I want to do? I feel fulfilled in doing this.
I always smile when I get this question because I had no idea. I think anybody that becomes a social worker had no idea they want to be a social worker. That's just not
Mhm.
something you grow up saying, I want to
Yeah.
be. I mine really my kids, like after having my first kid, my son, he just I experienced postpartum.
Hmm.
So experiencing that, I didn't know what that was, but then it turned into like more anxiety for me. I started just seeing the words like, oh my God, one day I'm gonna wake up, he's not gonna be breathing, or his dad at work, he probably not gonna make it home. And I just started like, what thinking, what is happening to me? I've never experienced this before. Nobody in my family knew what it was.
Hmm.
Nobody, none of my friends. And at that time, Chat GPT wasn't around. I couldn't just drop that in there and ask her, what is this? So I ordered books. I Googled what I was feeling, and then it told me, and then I got books to figure out what's happening. I need somebody or something to normalize what's happening to me. So once I saw that, I started reading. I'm like, wow, it's people out here experiencing this, probably just like me, that don't know what this is and don't have the resilience or support or just the mental state that I have. Some people are not as strong as I feel that I am. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to bring awareness around this? Because
Hmm.
at first it was just anxiety. I didn't even know much about the plethora diagnosis that they have. But I just
Hmm.
knew that I wanted to be something to help somebody. So I got
Yeah.
into women empowerment. I opened all kind of coaching business. I did so many things,
Mhm.
events. And then I'm like, okay, hold on. Can I practice this kind of stuff without this? Don't feel like I should be doing this when I don't have the right education or as
Mhm.
much
Mhm.
experience. So I looked up what can I get into that relates to this. And social work came up and I enrolled in grad school and then here I am.
I like it. I like it. And it's so good because everybody doesn't always have that experience, right? Some people can get
Mm-mm.
pregnant, have a baby, don't have postpartum, but then some do have it. So then you're having a conversation like, sometimes they're, oh, you're making it up. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, that's this. She'll get
Mm-hmm.
over it. But
Oh
it's a big
no, for
thing. And
real.
it's already big in the Black and brown community, already going to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll never forget. I went to the doctor one time. And she's like, well, come back when it's worse. I came because it is worse. I mean, I survived as much as I could on my own. I didn't did
I'm here
everything.
for a
I didn't have the
reason.
ginger ale. I didn't have the crackers. I need medical attention now. So it's already hard because we have to advocate for ourselves. But now coming
Yes.
into an area that's not common for a lot of people, and the fact that you did research to then offer classes and workshops, one, kudos for that because people don't know. And before ChatGPT, we had Google, but Google got so many different things too. YouTube had so
Yeah.
many different things. But to be able to speak to somebody and somebody to really help you through that process is really a dope experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after you started like the workshops and groups and things, how let's talk about the experience of the participants that came apart, and came to hear what it was that you were sharing, how they were impacted, how you were impacted to be able to be that light to somebody else.
What I was I was just thinking about all of this earlier, how the outcome of all my events were full, like sold
Mhm.
out. And I'm like, they trusted me
Yeah.
to to be able to help them or provide this space that I was providing.
Mhm.
And just hearing everybody, the main thing at that time, because that was like right before COVID,
Mhm.
at that time it was more of like people were relating to like the postpartum depression, and people were talking about their stories of just not feeling happy about where they are in life. And
Mhm.
like you just said, women are really overlooked when it comes to a lot of things, because we experience a lot of things, hormones and
Mhm.
all of this. So a lot of women say they went to doctors, they went places to figure out things, and they all like, you just your cycle's coming up, or it could be this, or it could be bloating. And it's just like we never feel like we are heard, because it
Mhm.
could be many things, but also
Right.
validate what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
So I saw with a lot of us, a lot of Black women, they just didn't get validation. They didn't get those spaces where they could even just talk about what they're experiencing. Not all the time when people want to answer. They just
Mhm.
want a space. They want support. They want to feel heard. And that's what I learned a lot about. That's what I learned in that time of hosting these groups. And I used to have pajama and girl talk where we all come out in pajamas, journal, talk. And at that time, I wasn't providing advice because I knew I was not in that place, or I was not trying to help them solve anything. But it just was all about them having a space with women who wanted to do better and feel better and validate their experiences. So that's what I
Oh,
learned the most.
I like this. Now, I want us to do a little education moment here, because we have some people that are tuned in that may not have experienced this. I have a good friend that just had a baby. She's going through a little bit of this because you got to go through. Who
Yes.
am I now? Being a mother again, not a mother again, but having another child and another child to the mix. The process of birthing a baby can be traumatic for different people.
Yes.
Know some people that are about to have babies, have had babies, things that sort. What is postpartum, and how can one support somebody that's dealing with it?
So postpartum depression is different from depression because it is brought on by childbirth. So after having the baby, we there's a first stage of a couple weeks called baby blues. And they say like after 2 or 3 weeks, if you're still experiencing these symptoms, then we look into postpartum. So the symptoms of postpartum is more like it's still very much like depression, but some people experience hair loss, weight loss, just a lot of different physical symptoms. But for me, I experience more of the mental health side of it. um and it can allow you to feel disconnected from your child. It can make you feel this just not like you want to breastfeed, like you just not getting the enjoyment from being a new mom, because mentally you're just not okay. And a lot of women then start to feel worse because they feel like they should be connected to their child. So this would drags out the postpartum and could then turn into just major depression, because you feeling the guilt from feeling that way. And it's real when you don't have the support. A lot of women don't. Some women are single mothers from the moment that they have their child, so they don't have that. And some women are happily married and they have postpartum depression. So it does not matter how healthy or happy your pregnancy was. It just hits women all differently. And
Mhm.
the way that what I recommend is, of course, getting in spaces around people that make you feel seen and validated, validating your experiences. Get with your friends. Allow the support. If people say, "Hey, girl, I'm coming over. Get the baby so you can do something." Take that help. That get the help from him, because I know sometimes we feel like, "Well, I am home with the child. He's working. I should let him." No, allow him to help you. Allow family to help you. Get into therapy if you feel like it's really playing a role in your role as a mother. You get help from a therapist that can give you the unbiased
Mhm.
support that you need in that time, because sometimes you can't get exactly what you need from family and friends. You need someone else with that experience to help you get through that time.
I like it. And it's most important to even speak up about it, right? Because sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah,
tell
maybe it's
people.
nothing. It's never the moment. No, speak up. I never forget I was
Mhm.
talking to someone and she was sharing about menopause. That we'll all experience one day, right? But she was also
Mhm.
saying about perimenopause that comes before menopause and how it has so many different symptoms. And I said, now wait a minute. But if you're not talking about it, you don't know, and you're thinking like something's going on. It's like,
Something wrong.
oh, It's as simple
Hmm.
as this. Like the community is really important for you to talk to your other sisters to find out how's your experience been? What does it look like? What's the blueprint to get that support? So again, being able to talk and have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, this is good. This is good. So you have a podcast called Heal Yet. How did that come about? What is it about? How can people tune in?
So Hell Yeah came about from life experience, but also just feeling like I always have something I want to say. And I always feel like what I have to say can help somebody, or what I have
Mhm,
to say is something that I once felt that I know can benefit someone else. It's just a space too that I created that helps normalize the journey of healing and allow people to understand that I personally don't feel that we are all ever 100% healed. We're
mhm, mhm,
always working on something in life. As soon as you feel like you're doing so good, life will give you something else to work on.
mhm,
And I see so much on Instagram and TikTok where, oh, come healed, they need to come healed, and I'm like, are you healed? Like, let's normalize that none of us are completely healed, but we're all
mhm.
healing. Hopefully, that's what we
Right,
want. Come healing,
right.
come able to identify triggers. And that's really what I created this for, to first identify what's bothering you,
Mhm.
understand that what's out there to help you, and just know
No.
that you're not alone in this
Yeah,
journey, that everybody is experiencing something, no matter how perfect your algorithm looks. We all are working on something. Nobody's better than the next.
yes, yes. I see the
So,
saying, we're not ever fully healed. It's like you
mm-mm.
get a car. When you first get the car off the lot, it's brand new, right?
There you
But then
go.
you get a nail in your tire, have another day, right? So they repair it, but it's still not fresh
That's
new. It's repaired. So it has a chance, it always has a
that's
chance to get another
good.
nail in it. It always has
Hmm.
another chance for that repair not to work out. You got to get a
Yeah,
starter, you got to get oil changed, the filter changes, all different things change. So it's never
always.
quite from that first birth piece. It has
Hmm.
depreciated since day one. And we depreciate a little bit too because you get up, you get that snap, crackle, pop, depending on how old you are. So all in all, like we are a ever ending process. It's a never ending process of the healing. Like we take some Tylenol to take the pain away, but it may come back again. Um,
Exactly.
and that's the part for sure, normalizing that journey of healing because we think that sometimes we can think like the medicine is that magic cure. And unfortunately, sometimes it's not. It can come
Mm-mm.
back around, whatever it is. We think,
Yes.
going to do our woosah after a heartbreak, it's a magic cure. No, let somebody come back around and they do
Mm-mm.
the same thing. We messed up again. Let that person come back around and we ain't healed. We got that Jasmine Sullivan thing. I'm going to
Yeah.
bust the windows out your car. So it's a
Yeah.
never ending process. And I think it's really for sure important for us to normalize that, to not get on our head too much about it, to not
Hmm.
stress ourselves too much about it. It is what it is. It happened. So how do we move forward with this? And I'm working on a book and process for this to help us, to
Oh,
take a pause and stabilize before we get back into a situation. Because we'll get a heartbreak and be like, oh, I just bounced into somebody else's bed. That's not quite how that works. For some people, it might. God bless. That don't work for everybody, though. You
I
got
don't
to
think
heal.
so.
You got to take
It
a moment.
doesn't.
But again, it's
Mm-mm.
still a journey. I like that, normalizing that. That's good. Ah, this is good. This is good. Okay. So some questions for you. Some questions for you. So in this thing of healed yet, in this thing of normalizing the journey of healing, what would you say was the moment that changed your life to say, I really need to do this? Beyond just the postpartum, like to really continue to
Mhm.
pursue therapy and social work to help other people. It definitely is not what I thought it was going to be when going to school for it. When you get out into the field of it, it's like, oh, oh, we really social. Oh, we really
Oh,
working. So what was that
yeah.
transition point for you?
So overall, you want to know what really kept me going after that.
Mhm,
Well, by that time, I was in school, so I was my kids got. So what really, I would say, what really got me. I always felt like I wanted to be a therapist because of, I feel like I am a good person to talk to, but that's all I thought it was until, going through a breakup. I think for me, that really, really, really opened my eyes. Like, this is really why I'm here. God put me here and I'm experiencing it now. I didn't feel like that in the beginning. I thought God was against me at all in all angles. But
Understand that
after
very well. Mhm, mhm.
go- after that, I'm like, wow, okay, God put me through this. God made me a single mother. I'm right now experiencing all the adversities that somebody's experiencing that's not in the place that I'm in. So I felt like that was the time for me to use my experience, my education, to open up more spaces. To first off, God put me in my internship, gave me access to different types of therapeutic modalities that I've never heard of because it's not available to my population, to our community. And when I saw how useful it was, I'm like, why don't I know about this? Why is that not in, available to this population? But I wouldn't have got there without experiencing what I experienced and being put in a position where all I felt like I had was myself and my therapist, because I called her literally within the same hour. I found out, like, yeah, emergency session, I need to see you today. And she was like, okay. But just knowing that what she did for me in that time, I wanted to be that for somebody else. I want to be available to women who's experiencing these things, because some women don't have, like I said earlier, don't have access to that. They don't have access to good counsel. So going through something like that and calling your friend and she have you in jail, that's not like, I want them to know you
Yes,
have access to healthier
yes,
spaces.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I like this. I like this. Definitely go with your friend and like, come on, let's ride. You gotta
That's
know who to call.
because they were ready. So no, you know what? Let me call my therapist, because no, we're not going to make this bigger than what it is.
They were ready. They were just waiting for the moment. And there's some people that are just like, just let me know when.
Yes.
I got a friend, she was like, they did what? I need to pull up. Calm down. It's already handled. Chill, relax. Because they were just waiting for a time to kind of get in the ring to box it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to know who to call in those moments. I like also the part of you sharing calling a therapist for an emergency session, because people don't know this, right? Just like the hospital has an emergency room,
Mm-hmm.
therapists have an emergency room. Like if it is something dire, something going on, you need to talk to
She
somebody,
moved the people around for me.
they
Okay.
move and adjust as need be, right? But there are also other supplements that help too, because we got
Yeah.
urgent care, we got the walk-ins and different things of that sort. So, like your job, I'm always going to promote this because why we normalize the importance of addressing mental health. Mental health matters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, You can do EAP, Employee Assistance Program, most underutilized service. We're getting it through our
Yes.
benefits and most jobs. And you can talk to somebody if you need a do drop in, because somebody's always on the other line for that. There are a lot of crisis hotlines. In every book that I print out, I always put the crisis hotlines in the back so that you have them at your fingertips to be able to reach out, right? So it's really important. If you're going through a situation and you feel like you need to talk to your person, call them,
Yeah.
call them, or call a supplement that could do the same to help and support you. Again, not
Mm-hmm.
that person that's going to lead you to the
Just
jailhouse.
good
Because then you need
counsel.
somebody,
Good
you
counsel.
know, then you need somebody to bail you out. If you can get bailed out, depending on what you did, you got to think before you act, friends.
Right.
And I get it, because sometimes they take you to these places and you just become Dr. Jerko and Mrs. Hyde, or whatever it was called, where it's like the two different people, right? But there is like emergency sessions that you can get if you need that support. If you are going every other week, if you need to get in that other week, make that call. And sorry on my soapbox just a tad bit longer. I know you might have tried therapy before and it didn't work out. Try again. Get somebody
Yes.
else,
Please.
but don't
Please.
leave the person just because they didn't say what you wanted to hear, because it's supposed to help you. So it's not going to always be what you want to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it was definitely a clash, by all means, that's why there are a gazillion of us out there. Not a gazillion. Our race is solely small. However, there is somebody else that you can go to, right? So
Mm-hmm.
don't allow that to cause you to give up. Please, please, please go and talk to somebody that's going to help you make some good
Yes.
decisions.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah. All right. So that'd be my
Mm-hmm.
soapbox. People, but that emergency, if you need it, tap on in.
Yes.
Tap into your people. You got some friends that you can talk to that'll give you some sound advice. Your mother, if your mother's still here,
Mm-hmm. Your
God bless you.
mother.
Or they got your
Yeah.
mamas. But I got somebody where I could call if something's going on. If not, I'm gonna have a prayer line with Jesus too. Like, Jesus, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like this. Last week, Patrice was like, "Then God's jokes aren't funny. They're not funny. I don't be joking. He's a comedian sometimes, and I don't do that. So I got to get my pieces together so that I will do something that's going to make,
Yeah.
things harder for us. Cool, cool, cool. So you talked of being a single mom, and we have some single moms out there. What has helped you to survive and heal and use these experiences as stairs for you?
Yeah. So Um, to add on to what you said about what I got here,
Yes,
how I
yes.
got here is also just being in survival mode. Once you become a single mother and you feel like your resources are limited, where you don't have much support, thankful for my mom, but where you feel like you don't, because it does get to feeling really small after a while. You just want to get through the day. Your day is constant work, kids, homework, food, bed. Hopefully, you get to wind down 30 minutes, and sometimes you don't. And for a while, that was my life. That was my life, constant. And it felt like I had no time for myself. And that is where the burnout kicks in. And then you just feel like that's it. I'm just making money to take care of them. And that's it. You feel bad about doing anything for yourself. I mean, it could be the smallest thing. I just like, I shouldn't do this. I need to save this for them. But as I went through with healing and going on my journey, my own journey, I just felt like, you know what? It's okay for them. I pay for daycare. It's okay for them to go an hour early and stay an hour and a half late. I wouldn't even allow that because I felt like, my kids been at school all day. I should just get them out. No, that hour and a half was time for me to maybe go. I got into Pilates or workout or, do something for myself. Stop at the nail shop. These little joyful moments like that help me feel like I mattered in parenting. I matter as a mother. And also, kids don't need a mother operating from survival mode because now
Mhm.
you're irritated. Now you're all constantly anxious and you can't
Yeah.
be present because you're thinking about what's the next thing that I need to do
Mhm, mhm,
versus taking a little time or maybe even if you can $10, $15 a check, something that you can feel like, wow, I did this for me. Spend time with your friends, planning things to look forward to because life is more than just that. You have
yeah.
to, I had to learn that pouring in my cup first is the only
Mhm,
way that I can pour in their cups from a healthy place.
yeah.
So working out and praying, oh, God did it, God for sure. Because I wouldn't have
Mhm,
even got to this point without understanding that God is ultimately the one that'll make a way for us.
mhm. Yes, I like this. Now, I want to also step on the other side of this, right? You said as a single
Hmm.
mom, it's part of survival. As I'm a single person with no children, same thing over here. I haven't had children yet. And even those
Wow.
that are, married with children, married without children, wherever you find yourself on a spectrum, sometimes we can get in that cycle of work, eat, sleep,
Hmm.
responsibilities, work, eat, sleep, responsibilities. And our first episode of the year was with Dr. George James, and he shared of his book, I Give Myself Permission. And I tell you, I'm still struggling to get through it because there's some things that I don't always give myself permission for to have that extra
Yes,
15 minutes, to take
absolutely.
that $15 to treat myself to something, to, that before or after care that you're paying for that helps you to lift that load. So you got some time to grab some things, get some things together, right? So we have to also,
Yeah.
again, give ourselves that permission that we have to rest beyond just the sleep because some
Hmm.
of us still not resting with the 5, 3, 4, 7, 8, wherever you find yourself, hours of sleep that we get in. I'm trying to do better myself. I'm telling on myself a little bit. I tell on myself here, but I throw myself on the plank for us all because we get caught up in that. So if it's
Yeah.
taking that trip, if it's taking that drive, it's about to be some good weather, going down to the beach, put your little toes in the water. If you don't like the sand, just walking on the boardwalk. But taking those moments to really enjoy the moment. I was watching this clip the other day, and a guy was talking to a florist, and he's like, "How do I get flowers to last a long time? Like, I'm trying everything. They said put a little alcohol in it, put some sugar in it, put this in it." And he said, "Flowers aren't meant to last. They're
No.
to keep you in the present." And friends, we're missing the present
Wow.
because we're trying to figure
Yes.
out how to keep them to survive. And then they dying. You put more sugar and they still dying. You just have to enjoy it for that moment. So I dare you, I challenge you, we like homework here, to find something that's going to help you be present in the moment. We're coming into the end of this first quarter of the year,
Yes.
and to be still standing, to be able to take that moment to give yourself some time, give myself some time. I got to give myself permission to be present in the moment.
Yes, yes, that is my saying right now. I always have to say, be present, enjoy this. Stop thinking about dinner. Stop thinking about what you have to do later.
Mhm.
Enjoy what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Because thinking for the future really ruins everything
Mhm.
that you're experiencing in that moment.
It can. Even like with pictures, like, and
Hmm
I like pictures and I don't like pictures. Because you get caught up in the perfect picture and you're still missing the moment. Like if
Oh,
you had a
yes.
concert and stuff, so you're just trying to get video stuff. No, let me just be there. Y'all should have bought your own ticket
That's
if you wanted to go, right? You
that's
could get
true.
snippets, but you got to be able to get what you need from that moment. You pay for
Yes.
it. You want to
You
get
pick.
experience on a vacation. It's nice to take a picture, but I really just want to sunbathe out here. You ain't even got
Yeah.
to talk to me too much. Just let me be out here and sunbathe just a little bit. Let me get a little tea, get a little water, whatever it is that you need
hmm
to enjoy because you're so busy taking pictures. And half the pictures stay in my phone because I don't post. They're like, there you go. Where the pictures? I enjoy
Yeah.
myself, you know? So
Yep.
oftentimes we try to live vicariously through others, but I want you to live vicariously through yourself, doing those things that you want to do. Go ahead and do that bungee jumping. I'm not doing that. Zip lining.
No.
I'm not doing that. My
Mm-mm.
friend went to, swim with the pigs. That was cool. She cut me out of
I
it. That
did
was cool. I
that.
ain't have to go because again, whatever it is that brings you joy,
Do it, man.
you
Do
gotta
it.
do it. You gotta do it.
Because life is that saying life is too short is real.
It
Because it
is.
is. It is. And I
It
see it so
is.
different now. Hmm
Mm. So, what are the things that keep you motivated? I think we kind of touched on this. I just want to make sure I highlight on it one more time that keeps you motivated in the single parenting and the push to help other people. Because even in being a social work and therapist, blessing, I don't want to say a curse, but it's bittersweet, right? Because sometimes the people are receptive to the help, sometimes they're not
hmm
receptive to the help, right? So, what keeps you
Oh
motivated
yeah.
to keep on pushing forward, to keep on trying to help, to keep on trying to plant the seed or water the seed to help them sprout into the flower, to help them be present in the present?
What keeps in my career, I start there. What keeps me motivated as a therapist and a social worker is just that 1%. Like I tell myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to make a difference in all 15 people that's in my group. But
Mm-hmm.
when that one person walk away once a week, one person every other day tell me how they don't even know it. They'll come and say, "Man, Miss Majia, talking to you yesterday when I was experiencing that hard grief, like that helped me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you and being here."
Mm-hmm.
Or just that one person that walks away after being with us for 2, 3 weeks or so. Like I'm ready to change. Like this helped
Mm-hmm.
me, and knowing that what I'm doing here, that sometimes I don't feel. We got the days where we feel like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing? Am I really helping? And then
Yeah.
it's always the reminder that God sends to me that reminds me you are helping. And if it's one out of this 15, you're doing enough, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And even if they don't help them today, you never know how they'll feel in 3 months that what you say might click.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps me motivated. Just hearing those things that I want.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That me?
Okay, you got me. Okay.
Yeah. There we
This
go.
was the first time that.
Ooh. It don't like us. It don't like us. There we go.
Sorry.
No worries.
Ugh. Okay, sorry.
No worries.
But yes. So that, and then as a mother, I would say being seeing my boys grow, like seeing them walk the way that they treat other people, and I teach them about kindness and just not being how I see others, and it lets me know that okay, as a single mom, I am making a difference. I'm seeing the results is what I say. My kids' grades, the things that they're interested in, how they speak when they're out, how they carry themselves, how they're able to be kind to people who they see others are not kind to, how they comfort me, lets me know that I am your safe space. They come and talk to me, and those moments make me feel like, wow, what I'm doing here, it does matter, because I really care about who my boys grow up to be in this world. This world is not kind. It's not. And
Yeah.
I that's what keeps me going, knowing that I am doing enough. They are the result of what I'm doing here as a mother.
Yes. Yes. And that's it. If you could touch that one, it reminds me of the scripture where 10 was healed and only one came back to say thank you. And like people talk about the other nine, but though they didn't come back to say thank you, they talked about it to somebody that brought you
Mm-hmm.
more attention sometimes where you didn't know. But sometimes you want to hear it, right? But I've also gotten to the place where I don't need to hear people say thank you. I know that I'm trying to do my best for people, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody receives it a different way, right? So it's that 1% where it's like, all right, I did good. Sometimes talking with boys in groups, they can be a tough crowd. And then the boy was like, I like this. I didn't think I was
Uh-huh.
gonna like it,
It means a lot coming from the adolescents or the little kids. I'm sorry.
I said I won. We
You
done. We
did.
done.
If you get it from the kids, girl,
Um,
you won. You
and
won.
then you would come to the next group and talk and share and things of that
Yeah,
sort. And it's
I
so,
love to see it. I love it. I
you
love
know. Now then I did some girls and it was quiet the whole time. They was taking notes though. Then was over. They was like, "This was tough." I was like, "Whew." I wasn't sure. I just, like that you're putting out good information. You're trying to make it
Yeah.
relatable for them, and you're just hoping that they are picking up, that they know that somebody does love and care for them and want them to make good decisions. Because one would be like, "Yeah, because he made me mad. I threw the trash can at him," and I'm like,
These
"Okay."
kids.
We listen and we don't judge, but Miss Jen asks questions. Let's talk about this. Why did we throw the trash can? What could happen from you throwing that trash can, right? Because sometimes they don't always think of the consequences. We don't always think of the consequences. And I share,
Mhm.
we all learning every day how to do better in situations. But then also with your children, of you being that example and them following it and you're seeing how well mannered they are. Because there's
Yeah.
some children that you'll see and they'll be so well mannered, and at home, mama, auntie, grandma, and them, they don't play and things and
Uh-huh.
shit. And then you got some that feel like they're the boss. They really boss babies,
Mhm.
And we just yet praying for those babies, that they come around and they work out. But that's a big thing too, where you're seeing like your blood, sweat, and tears is paying off and they are receptive. Um, and even to the parents where your children are giving you hell right now,
Mhm.
they'll know years from now, hopefully days from now, to help you lessen that stress, just how important you are. Uh, it's unfortunately sometimes as we get older, we find out how much of a gem our mother, our father, our uncle, whoever that person was that stopped in to give us love, really was to us until we find out, oh, life
Yep.
is different. So that's part of it. So we'll see. Cool. So the part of you talked about, allowing your children to stay in that before and after care to get the extra sleep or whatever times you need. What are some other things you try to prioritize to help you stay balanced, to keep on going in this thing called life?
Oh, I definitely my relationship with God, because I feel like it was then when life got better, when I understand like, oh, okay, this many people in the Bible experience all this kind of stuff. Like I was there for them, and
Mhm,
that kind of normalized what I'm experiencing, but also made me allow me to know that this is all a part of life. In that I always used to feel like, God, oh, everybody else got it easy. Like I see her, like my friend doing this person doing that. Why it look like
mhm,
this for me? And then I read the Bible and learned that anybody that God helped or that God was there for or God made kings, all of these things, they experienced the most trials. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay, even though I'm tired of being on the strongest soldier list, he
Me
used
too, sis. I didn't sign up for it, but okay.
okay, that's how I felt. Like he comes through for me when I
Yeah.
like the things that come my way let me know that I'm aligned. So that's
Mhm,
also what keeps me going. But
mhm,
also just exercising. When I really started taking care of my health, like when I was going through the breakup and postpartum, and I didn't care about what I was eating, what I was doing. I didn't care about exercise, nothing. But I gained so much weight that I remember feeling like just really bad.
mhm,
Not even just gaining weight, the things I was eating, the oil, cookies, constantly just stress eating.
mhm,
I was feeling bad physically. So knowing that, all those physical vulnerabilities play a role in our mental health. In the minute I
mhm,
clean that stuff up, like eating better, that I eat when I'm, having fun, but on the regular, just eating better, pouring the right things in my body, taking vitamins that I need,
mhm.
go and get your checkup so you know what's going on in your body.
Yeah.
Taking care of your physical health really helped me mentally. And I noticed a lot when I cleaned up my diet, how much better I felt, how much clearer I think when I
Mhm,
exercise, how much better I feel. So just incorporating those things in my life, like I work out in the morning before I wake my kids up. So that's how I feel like I'm pouring into myself.
mhm,
And then starting my day, it really helps me. And prioritizing spending time with my friends. Like, stop
Mhm.
treating them like I gotta focus on what I'm doing. No, friends are important. Man, my
Mhm.
friends have been with me through the hardest parts, through
Yeah.
the difficult time. So sitting with them is healing. Like, getting out with them, enjoying time with them is healing for me. So I'm prioritizing spending time with them monthly if I can, or whenever I
Mhm.
feel up to it. But I do prioritize it because I know how good those spaces make me feel. And
Mhm.
spending time with my boys one on one, we do movies, parties,
Mhm.
movie nights, and having those things in place, spending time with them, all those things, it helps me get through,
Yes,
navigate.
yes, I like that. That part of taking care of health is so
Mhm.
important.
Yeah.
Friends, we also, soapbox, pull back out. Most of us pay for benefits with our jobs. If you don't, you got jobs through the city, no judgment. Wherever you got a benefit, right? Make sure we're going to the doctor. And we're being honest when we go to the doctor, when
Please.
they're asking us what's going on. I felt so proud of myself. I went to the doctor. I said, yes, and I be having this pain or this be happening. But this is what I do. She said, well, you're doing everything right. I said, oh, okay. So then I felt like I could tell her something else. She's like, oh, yeah, you're doing everything right. All right, cool. I feel good because what happens is when we don't speak on what's going on, it builds up, and then sometimes it gets a little further
So true.
along when we could have knocked it out a little earlier, right? So taking care of health, going to the doctor, ladies, depending on your age, your mammogram and things of that sort, going to your OBGYN and things of that sort,
Yes.
your dentist, your vision. Y'all out here talking about it's 5. It was 3. It wasn't 5. Want to make sure you can see because y'all here on these roads driving.
Man, okay.
And we already got special drivers out there. Please just go get your eyes checked and things of that sort. But all those things, and if you need to see a specialist, which reminds me, I need to follow with a friend. She's supposed to be going to see a specialist because she had like a cough going on. Making sure that we're doing the things we need to do to nip things in the bud early, to address things
Yes.
early. And
Yes.
like you said, some people are eating just whatever they want to eat and having a good time. But sometimes it can make you feel a little down. Or some people, excuse me, aren't eating at all. You're skipping meals because you're sad and going through different things. So you got to find your balance. Make sure we're getting some vegetables in. Our school, we did learn that in school. They showed us that little pyramid, how much
Yeah.
we're supposed to eat. Or at least we see it when we did go to the doctor. So we want to make sure we're getting those vitamins, those nutrients in that we need. And that part of prioritizing friends is really big. Life has been life for me. And I've been trying to connect with one, and I finally got to her yesterday. So it's really important for us to take those
Hmm.
moments because even though life is overwhelming for you, it could be overwhelming for them. And we're supposed to support each other. So finding that balance of how to be there for them, taking what you need to be there for yourself, because friends are needed. The good ones again. And
Yes.
you'll know who you want to hang out with because as soon as somebody start calling, be like, yep, no, not today. Somebody was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to talk to him. But also not letting that not today pass by too long and not checking in. Why? Because life is short.
It is.
You never know
Oh,
when.
it is. Hmm.
Ah, whew. So another thing I saw, let's talk about a little bit about grief. Let's talk about that for a moment. How have you navigated, and what have you learned about yourself when dealing with grief?
All right. So for me, grief is still fresh. For me, it all just happened, and what I'm learning about myself, just overall, what this is teaching me, because it's not one of God's lessons, is it's teaching me just what we talked about, to be present. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am always hyper focused on what's next in my life, so
Yeah.
I can accomplish something. I don't know how to sit in it, right? I'm always like,
Mm-hmm.
what's next? Okay, we need this. I got this. All right, let me work on this. And I noticed that time passes. Like, I wasn't fully experiencing life while
Mm-hmm.
I'm in it and enjoying what I have. And grief showed me that we're not too young. We are not too young. There's no such thing as being too young for your time, because I just lost somebody important to me at only the age of 33. So unexpectedly. So we can't live life with these people that we love thinking, oh, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to them when I get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, I finally got to it. What life does life. So a
Yeah.
simple text, hey girl, we gonna talk this
Mm-hmm.
week, says a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Telling
Yeah.
people you love them, you know, because one day, surprisingly, you may not be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I just always say, just show people you love them, and why they're here. We don't want to be saying, dang, I wish I would have did this. I could
Yeah.
have did that after. grief also grief also showed me that it helped me learn that everybody does not understand it. Everybody does not know how to support somebody in that time. And it brings out anger. It does. It make you feel like, oh, these people don't care about me. They was here for me during this time, but not in this time. It taught me that we have to understand that everybody's capacity is not like ours. Everybody does not understand how to support people. They don't know what to say. And I'm thankful for my mom who helped me realize this in this time, because when you're going through grief, you are going, the first step, you're going to experience some anger, and you're going to try to find somewhere to place it, because what you're experiencing is a lot, and you need somewhere to place that to at that moment. So you're going to be upset about who's not there for you, thinking about all the things that's going on, when really you have to understand that people just don't know what to say. People don't know how to be there, and understand that grief is something that's not going to heal overnight. It's not going to heal in years. So when people say time heals, not with that. It's just learning how to live with that is what grief, what I'm learning that grief is. That I'm going to have my week of feeling good, and then one day that might tear me up and send me back to day one. And I'm just allowing myself to have that day when it comes, and enjoying what I had in that time, enjoying what was given in that period of time. Grief is definitely something that you need that extra support, that you need therapy. If it's hit you to that point where you have that heaviness in your chest, where you feel that missing piece daily, you are going to need that extra support to help you navigate that, especially when you, like we say, life is going to keep life in. So you're going to have grief, and you're going to have other issues that come up with it. You just got to learn how to navigate grief and life at the same time. And I'm still learning, still on this journey.
Well, now I'm about to get in my business. Yes, Belinda, there are triggers that bring on grief.
Oh, absolutely. Songs, scents, certain colognes, pictures. I mean, you could just be driving and the sun looks good, and you're like, dang, I remember when we was riding like this. Like, it's, man, grief is that silent thing that's just always there. Wait, like she said, on a trigger to just bring it all out.
Just bring it all out. And it's funny because sometimes, not funny, but it's interesting how your body knows what's going on before you know what's going on sometimes. Like a holiday can be coming up, and I'm like, well, what's going on? It ain't my friend coming to visit. So like, what is happening? I'm like, this is coming up. And I try to be proactive. So like April 1st is my mom's birthday. She would have been 78. She's been gone for 43 years. I've already planned she's been gone for 23 years. I've already planned in my mind to like take off that day. I didn't want to be bothered with people, but life has a way of life and where I still got to deal with people a little bit. And I get it. It's part of life. But I did take off the day. I'm going to go get a massage, go treat myself to honor, and to lift my spirits, right? So even in those moments, you got to do stuff that's going to pull yourself out of that funk, because it's easy to get into that thing because you have your fears, your doubts, whatever thoughts you had. And that part of, wishes and regrets and things of that sort, it makes me think of my cousin. He passed a couple of weeks ago. And at the service, just seeing all the people there giving him love and things of that sort. And I was like, I wish I told him more of like how much a great impact he made. He's on TikTok sharing resources, dancing, having a good time, enjoying life, being present, loving on people. And I wish I had told him, like, he's trying to share resources, trying to connect people with resources and things. I'm like, I wish I told him that. So, friends, if somebody's doing something that's amazing, it takes nothing from you to say, you're doing a good job.
Just tell them.
I love to see a sister walking down and she be shopping. I'm like, girl, you look good, and it just brightens. She got more pep in her step and things of that sort. So, it's little things that we could do that could bring joy to somebody, because life is short. So, if you can brighten somebody's day, go ahead and brighten it. If you're not going to brighten it, keep it to yourself.
Please. We got enough of that in the world.
Keep it to yourself. You don't want to have those regrets. But again, even in the grief, again, just making sure that when those times are coming, for us that have lost our moms, Mother's Day about to be here, I get it. Do what you need to do, and prevention, being ahead of time, preparation, so that you can have yourself together. Because sometimes that a holiday can come and you'll be just fine, and then sometimes that holiday come and you was tore up. But it'd be like
Yeah.
1201. It'd be like that holiday was never here. That's how it works for me sometimes. I'd be so grateful when 1201 hits. Okay. But again, you, whatever works, and it's not just the loss of a person, right? Grief is the loss of a person, place, or thing.
Ooh,
You lost that job, you lost that house,
yeah.
you lost that opportunity, you lost that connection, you lost that friend. They're still living. You see them, but y'all not connected no more for whatever reason. So
Oh.
processing those thoughts that go with all of those feelings is really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Yeah.
important. So yes, the joys of grief. It is something else.
Man, something I
And,
don't
and
know nobody.
I don't wish on nobody, especially a parent. I lost my mom and my father, and I'll say I'm an orphan. Like, stop saying it. Technically, I
No.
am an orphan by definition, right? But it's also helping me to process. So if somebody has their way of processing, allow them to process how they process.
Yeah.
Support them in their process. Now, if it's like really skewed and it's like bad, by all means, jump in, supporting things
Right.
that sort. But allowing them to process and verbalize what it is they feel and why they feel that way. Right.
Mm.
So, we talked about resilience, women being resilient and things of that sort. What are some words of encouragement you have to help somebody to be resilient in this thing called life? Because sometimes you feel like giving up. Sometimes you don't want to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody bounce back, like we have said, it's different. And sometimes we'll see somebody else and we'll get frustrated that they not bouncing back, but they don't have the capacity or they don't have the bills that you had to be able to bounce back. What are some words that you would give them?
I would say something my therapist told me, like close, like very when I started therapy, maybe 5-6 years ago, was that like life is not a cave, it's a tunnel, and even though it's dark in that moment, it's always light. It's all you have to come out of it, right? So I just feel what I would say is that, like we said earlier, everything we experience is steps to where we need to be. I mean, just see your life as the things that you're experiencing only makes you stronger, it only makes you more aware, it only makes you learn how to navigate life differently. If we didn't fall down, we wouldn't know how to identify things. We wouldn't have this experience to get through difficult times or to pass down to certain people. We wouldn't be able to become who it is that God has already planned out for us to be. So whenever you fall, just see it as another thing that to learn from, but also to learn another way to navigate something. I feel that with our resilience, we will never truly become who we need to be. We have to we have to experience those tough moments. We have to take them one at a time. Get through it, because there's this saying is that you already made it through your hardest day. So keep going.
I said that often. Already made it through my hardest day. I feel like when my mom passed, that was like the hardest day because I definitely thought you was going to have to 302 me. I was going to be cuckoo, all those different things. So when I'm like, it's a good day, and like, why you always say it's a good day? Because I made it through the day I thought I wouldn't make it through. And if I can make it through that day,
Yeah.
I can make it through this day. This little thing that happened is small potatoes. We're going to fry them up. We're going to make it do what it do. We're going to make some mashed potatoes with it. We're going to do a baked potato with it. We're going to make something of it, but it's still a good day. We got potatoes. We might not have no potatoes, right? But for sure, you have already made it through your worst day. Because there are many days that we've all experienced that we thought we would not make it through. But friends, I also like that life is not a cave, it's a tunnel. I'm still that and use that. Because in a cave, it's not
There's
always
no
a way
way out.
out.
No, not
But a
always.
tunnel, there is a way out.
Yeah.
You just got to keep walking. You just got to keep going.
Keep
Get through
walking.
it.
One day you're gonna see it like, oh, I'm here. I made it. I went through all that darkness just to finally experience this light. And that's what keeps me going. Like, to know that this cannot be my forever. And that's what I want a lot of people to notice, even people who feel like they don't want to live, that they don't have purpose, that they can't find anything to be grateful for, that they love about themselves, is that life gets better. No matter how hard it is in this period of time,
ending it now, you'll never be able to see all of the you'll never reap the good things for all these
Yes.
tough things you've experienced.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, like we said, resilience is the only thing that's going to get you to keep walking. Just get up, keep going.
Gotta get up and keep going, friends. We cannot give up. What? How can people connect with you to, obtain services? Are you taking clients? What resources? You also have a book.
Yeah, I have a journal. So, first you can find me at Heal Yet. I'm sorry, at Healing with Majia is my Instagram, and I do have a podcast that's Heal Yet on all podcast streaming um sites. I am planning to restart later this month, so I'm excited about that. Restarting
Mhm,
it with more experience as a professional in mental health, and
mhm,
also just more experiences in life. So I have so much good things to talk about on there. And
mhm,
also, I do have a 90-day journal that I created following my podcast. I actually made it
mhm.
3 years ago and planning to work on something. Same
Yeah,
reasons, more
yeah.
experience. But
Mhm,
that journal is more about learning our triggers, learning our emotional urges,
mhm, mhm,
and learning how to identify how we feel. And I do have like feelings wheel in it. I have spaces that we can write down things we can control and things we can't control, because I feel like we focus on too many things at once. I
mhm,
have a place where we write down our goals. We write letters to ourselves in this moment and our future self. All
yeah,
the things that helped me when I was navigating a hard
mhm.
time, because I love to journal. So check it out if you feel that that's something you're interested in.
Yes, I feel like that is something some of y'all are interested in. So go ahead and check that out because it's all about being intentional. I did some journals, but it's causing us to be intentional about our feelings, our emotions, and things. So
Yes,
having a feeling chart because we're like, I'm good. What does good mean?
exactly.
Somebody text me that they was like, I'm alive. What does that mean? Now I'm calling. What does that mean? Let's talk about this stuff, like share your life up and things of that sort. And that's you being present for your people and things of that sort because
Hmm.
life be life and sometimes they don't feel comfortable sharing or they feel like you got too much stuff going on and they already got
Yes.
stuff going on. They don't want to put on you. If that's your person y'all locked in, we built for it. We
Yep.
built for it. I tell my brother all the time, you signed up for this. Class on, you are crazy. You signed up for this. You said you want to be my brother from another mother, and you signed up for it. So you got to hear all these things
Yeah.
that's going on. So and that's the love and support that you have. So again, go see your people and get that support.
Yes.
Ah, despite everything you've walked through, you're still standing. What keeps you rising?
What keeps me rising, like I said, is this my faith, my relationship with God, my children, and knowing the life that I want and the men that I want them to grow into, but also the life that I see for myself, the
Yeah.
things that I see myself doing for the different populations that I want to work for, the
Mhm.
outcome I want to see, and however many people that I can touch. That's what keeps me rising. That's what keeps me going. And that's no matter how hard, that's what keeps me resilient is the outcome. Trying to see what can I bring to life out of the things that I'm working on, or I see the vision that I see.
I like it. And yes, I ask some of the questions sometimes a different way, a couple of times, and it's funny because I know some friends that don't
It's
like that.
okay.
But sometimes we have to like hear it again. And sometimes as I'm asking her, the hope is that you're also asking yourself too, what's keeping you
Mhm.
going? What's keeping you motivated? What's keeping you rising? And sometimes you don't hear it the first way, right? I say how to put a banana. How do you put a banana? How do you eat a banana? Three different questions, also the same thing, right? Because how to get it in yourself, right? So
Mhm.
again, different ways that you could process to kind of get the answer that you're looking for as you write in journal as well, friends, of what's going on in this thing called life for you. It's pretty cool. What do you want us to walk away with? What's some words of wisdom?
Um, I think I'm gonna go back to what I said that my therapist said, that life is not a cave; it's a tunnel, and to know that no matter how crazy this world is that we're living in right now, the gas
Mhm.
prices, all these different things, just know that you have purpose. You focus on what you can do in your world to change somebody around you. If we
Yeah.
all walk with kindness in what we do, each one of us, be kind. Like, we are all living in this difficult time right now. We all can use a smile in the morning, a good attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Just be the best version of yourself, because just you alone can change people in the little spaces that you're in. Bring
Yeah.
positivity wherever you go. Be
Mm-hmm.
the light in somebody else's life, but also in yours. Understand that we can't control what's happening in the world, but we can control what's happening within us, what's around us, and how
Mm-hmm.
we make people feel around us as well.
So good. Oh, this is really good. I thank you so much for joining us, friends. Y'all be sure to go and follow, go, because healing is a journey. Normalize it, friends. Know that it is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. You get an injury, you go to physical therapy, you go one day, you got to keep
Not
going.
gonna heal in a day, but
And then after you've been going for a while and you got it together and it's doing better, sometimes you got to do that therapy again, right? You got to repeat it.
maintenance.
Yes, the maintenance. It's a journey, friends. So y'all be sure to go ahead and follow, get some good stuff. The Heal Yet podcast, the Heal Yet book, that journal to guide you through your process of being healed. So many great, amazing things. I thank you again so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Yes, yes. I gotta check out your podcast too. Tune in. I'm tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you again. You have a great evening.
You too.
Awesome. Friends, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I had a good time. That was a good topic. Still standing. Are you still standing? Don't give up, friends. Keep on going. All right. Don't forget our quote of the day. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. Again, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. And I believe in you, friends. So you can make it through whatever it is that's going on. All right. I want to also just share again about Swag Her Magazine, one of my sponsors, right? So, swag our promos. Become a visibility vault for Black business woman founding member today. Okay, Ascendant founding members are the women who believe first, the ones who saw the vision before it was polished and said yes to elevation early. If you're called to more visibility, more authority, and true alignment, this is your tier. Because visibility isn't about going viral, it's about being positioned, walking into rooms already respected, being introduced as the expert you are. So Ascend is for women who aren't asking for a seat, but they're taking that seat. Okay, they're building the table. So invest in yourself today with swagheronline.com. You can get more information for that. Also, they have their travel book. So tap in. Let us spotlight your story, showcase your journey and accomplishments with style. Designed to amplify your visibility, these exclusive features are distributed at premier Black women's empowerment events. So these books are shared at conferences to go in nice bags. If you want to be advertised or you want your business to be shared, please visit swagherpr.com. As always, don't forget us here at Chosen Counselors. We have our Boss Girl Planner and Journal. It's about us being intentional, getting into our feelings because we are that boss chick. And ironically, this book was really dedicated to my mom. I did a dedication to her. And as her birthday is coming up, I guess I'm going to promote it a little bit more. It's not dated, so you can use it at any time. I've gotten amazing feedback. It has been helpful. So be sure to pick up your journal or your planner and journal from our website today at chosencounselors.com. As we're coming out of winter, we're coming into spring. So put out a hoodie again. We have our I don't have the capacity hoodie because sometimes, friends, I don't have the capacity. Gotta let the people know I'm outside because I gotta be outside to get something done, but I'm going back into my house. Okay. We also have our Let Me Ask God First. It's a limited edition. And then we have our Check on Your Friends. We just talked about that today. Make sure you're checking on your friends. Make sure they are all right by text or call, something. Send a lifeline. Make sure they're doing all right. All right. Oh, it was so good. Oh, last but not least, if you'd like to be a guest on Jen Cares or know somebody that would be an amazing guest, we're always looking for people. And I've been slacking on this. So I need to get this together. But I do got somebody for next week. We have Lena Shaw. We're going to be talking about the 5 to 9 shift. I know you work that 9 to 5, but a lot of us have some side hustles or other hustles that are helping us to be the person that we were created to be, that's helping us to achieve all our dreams and goals. So be sure to tune in on next Monday as we will have the 5 to 9 shift. But again, if you want to be a guest or you know a guest, send them my way. I love y'all all for real. Until next time, may y'all have a great, great evening, an amazing week. Keep on standing. Don't give up. And guess what? Life is not a cave. It's a tunnel. I love y'all. Till next time.
Thanks for joining Jen Cares this week. Special thanks to our sponsors, Swag Her Magazine and Chosen Counselors, guests, and viewers. Such a good conversation. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you found value in today's show, we'd appreciate your sharing it with a friend and dropping a comment down below. Until next time.